Okay, you should have control, sir.
That's cool. Hey, Joel. All right. We hear all the time, oh, it's the fourth quarter, I'm just going to take it off.
Don't do that.
I'm just going to coast into the next year.
No.
No, we don't want to do that. So today we're going to show you why that is not part of your plan. By the way, if you're doing webinars, make sure you have your own all rights reserved slide. Your first marketing tip. If you don't have one, you're going to be getting our email address during the day today. We'll send you this if you want it. You take our information out, you put yours in, send it to your lawyer. If you don't have a lawyer that'll check, we can connect you with one, and that connects your intellectual property. That's what that's there for. Hey, do you know that Santa Claus has been real for businesses since 1915? This is the very first time Santa appeared in an ad. The White Rock Water Company. Not in color. There it is. Nope. Kind of cool. This will be your trivia answer, or the trivia question you can answer at your holiday parties. What was the first ad? Search out White Rock Water, and there it is. He's actually been a client of ours for 2 decades, and what happened was that he was looking for a way to make his elves more effective. So he came to us, and we made a deal with Google. See, when you do a Google search right now, it isn't math or that algorithm stuff. A whole bunch of elves gather around a table, and they say, well, whose website has been naughty, who's nice, who's using the internet to promote their business, and that's who they deliver. So just to prove to you that Santa Claus is real and he's a client of ours, here's a little video to get you warmed up for today.
Eventually.
Well, howdy. So we're in Sedona, and guess who stopped by? One of our clients is Santa Claus.
Hello, welcome.
How you doing, Santa?
Oh, fantastic. What a great place to come and visit.
It is so good to have you visiting us again here. Hey, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We hooked you up with Google to take care of the elves and put them to work. How's that working for you?
Amazing. Amazing. What helps is we've taken their output from just what they were at 100%.
Yeah.
And we're logging close to 370% now.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. So see, Santa, what we did, we made a deal with Google, and Santa has his elves working for Google. So when you do a Google search, it's not anything, math. It's a bunch of elves deciding if your website has been naughty or nice, and the nicer it is, the more you're blogging, the more it changes, the higher up they put, and he gets paid for it. Pretty good deal. So keep blogging and keep marketing, and it was good to see you, Santa.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for stopping by Sedona.
Take care.
See everybody.
Yeah, we know where the real Santa Claus is. He's in our phone. If you want to go see the real Santa Claus, message us later on, and we'll let you know where in the Los Angeles area he is showing up right now.
Well, how?
So today you're going to learn 6 myths that people have told you the exact wrong thing, and it could ruin your holiday sales, and we're going to show you what you can do about it.
What is that?
Yep. So get out your notebooks, and if you have questions, hold on to them if you can. I mean, you could put them in the chat. We'll try and answer, but we've put time at the end to answer any holiday marketing question or any question about business. So hold on to that, all right? Make sure you're taking notes. A little about us. We began this is the end of the 27th year. We started as a promo company. We gave marketing away as a bonus. And then a couple of things happened. First, I begged Sharon to join the company.
Yeah, sure.
Well, kind of worked. And what that did, it gave us an advantage because Sharon has a background that's different than mine. Couple of decades of HR, online incredibleness, in addition to sales and marketing, all the rest. So it gave us an advantage over a lot of other type coaches that we saw out there. And the second thing was that we realized that in a team format that we use, masterminding was one of the best ways to do our coaching. We do a Monday mastermind every week, because quite often clients didn't know where to go. And if they don't know where to go, others don't know where to go. And just like, little Alice asking the Cheshire cat which road she should take, and he'd ask, where do you want to go?
I don't know.
Well, it doesn't really matter what road you take. So,
There you go.
and we learned all about, that gave us an advantage. We have been in coaching programs, and it had to be the right coaching program because most coaches that we found were all alike, and we wanted to change ours. So as we've moved from Los Angeles to Sedona for 8 years, and now on to Maryland, what we've done is embraced a niche of only coaching small business owners, and never hear us say small and medium-sized business owners, that are really good at what they do. And we talk about niche marketing. If you can grab the people that are most likely to be your audience, you can charge more. And that's what we want to happen for you. With all those experiences, we did learn that it's usually a stream of small adjustments and corrections that you make over time that make your business more successful. Now, if you, for example, don't have a website,
That's a big deal.
yes, if you've never used social media,
And now you're gonna. That's a big deal.
so there are some things that are big deals, but most of them are relatively small. And if you're changing them over and over and testing all the rest, it can work. That brought us to doing twice a year small business breakthrough boot camps. And we've been in over 500 publications and podcasts and radio shows. Here's a list. That's a list of just some of the ones we've been on. Been interviewed by some really neat people. James was ABC's Secret Millionaire, and Forbes has sold a couple of $1 billion on QVC. And Kevin was the first shark they hired on Shark Tank. So we use those interviews on the front page of our website. It helps in the search engine optimization. So it's really neat to get interviewed by people that are more famous than you. We competed for, we were chosen, we got voted by that audience you see in front of you. America's #1 coaching team for small business marketing. We were the 4th finalist out of 5. And if you backed that picture up about 5 seconds, you would have seen Sharon gasp. Spoken on stages all around North America. In fact, we were in Canada a couple of months ago. And our mission today, we want to teach you how we use the holidays to promote your business. Put out 8 best-selling books. The latest one came out last month. Your Guide for Overwhelmed and Overthinking Entrepreneurs. If you're an overthinking and overwhelmed entrepreneur, I'm going to give you a copy of that book or any of the others. So let's start by doing that. Give you some free stuff. These are our books. If you'd like one, our email address is there.
And soon to be in the chat.
All you have to do is send us an email and say, I want this book, and we will send it to you. Glad to do that. Sort of a holiday present. In fact, since we're doing this webinar just before the holidays, you might end up with 2 if you ask Santa nicely.
Just keep that email box open. All the things in one email as opposed to one email for each thing.
Yeah.
Because we're just going to hit reply and attach all the things and send it on off to you.
That's the first free thing. Second is we do a podcast. If you've never appeared on a podcast, you probably just said to yourself, oh God, I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. But heck, this is a free video that promotes you. Everyone gets the same questions. We know what you're going to say because you've sent us the answers in advance. We get to promote the heck out of you. And it's a really long one, only 7 minutes, 21 seconds, because our anniversary is July 21st. So we'd love to have you on that. You can send that out to all of your prospects, and you can say, look, I was just interviewed here, and I'm really awesome. Third thing, we're doing, we added a boot camp. We normally do them in March and September. We added one in December because, frankly, we knew we were going to do this webinar. So it's virtual. December 9 to 4. If you want a new marketing path for next year, you can have that for free. You can sign up any number of ways. One, drop your email in the chat here so we know you're going to get it. You can scan the QR code, which will bring you to the website that is at the bottom called planyourmarketing.com. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, those are the ways you can do it. So we'd love to have you join us for that. We'll put your entire program together in a day. All right, some basic marketing basics before we get to it, because there are some things that no matter what you do, no matter what tactics you do, they are always going to be part of your business. Your demographics, your psychographics, what's going on in their head, and how you package it.
So imagine that these 4 women, they all want to buy a car. They're probably not looking for the same kind of car. They're probably not looking for the same benefits, features of that car. So a good car salesperson is going to message each of them differently in order to attract them to their dealership. The same thing is true for you. It is quite possible that these 4 women could all benefit from your product or service, but you'll need to message each of them differently in order to attract them to you. If you try and craft one message that will speak to all 4 women, none of them will feel like you're speaking to them, and none of them will buy from you.
You know what? I see a couple of, when you were talking, I was looking at the list. By the way, if you haven't gotten your holiday cards done yet, there's a printer that's about to put her information in the chat because I'm going to ask Celia to do it. Celia, drop your info in the chat. She can print up the holiday cards. If you need your photo taken, Julie is going to put her information, bestlaphotographer.com. She can still get your holiday cards done. So drop that in there. Okay. I see people I know. I want to plug them now. And since we just had Giving Tuesday, I know that I think I see Gary right in the middle.
Yes, he is right there.
Gary, you have it. I think you're the only nonprofit here, so drop your information in the chat as well.
Dr. Marcia.
Oh, Dr. Marcia. Marcia, put your information in the chat. It's never too late to
donate to worthy causes.
Drop your info in the chat. And I just because for the heck of it, yes. I see Roger there. Yes, hey, Roger, your book would make an awful nice holiday present, so drop your information in the chat. There we go. One of the reasons you want to know the demographics of your audience is you want to market to the right people. Panda Express gives away free food if you answer a few questions, and all of the questions are demographically based. It costs them about $0.25 for the food, but the information they gather is really worth a lot more than that. That way, if they want to promote one particular store or one particular county or one particular state or the chain, they can gather the demographic information of who's coming to each store based on the answers that they get. There's another half of that, which we'll get to in a second. We have a chart that we give to clients. I think why don't we give this away free if you'd like it. If you want our demographic chart so you can start to look at who your audience is and start to separate it in that email that you're sending out, just say you want the demo chart and we'll send that to you as well. The other half of that equation is the psychographics. What's going on in their mind? Because people don't buy for logical reasons. It's emotional. If you are driving down the freeway, how do you capture their attention on a billboard? It's a brief message, and on that message, it's, well, in the car they're in, passing that billboard, they're listening to radio station WIIFM. What's in it for me? So you want to get used to talking in terms of what's in it for them. We have a client that may or may not be on the call today. We're looking at that client's donation page for their nonprofit, and it wasn't reading more to the people that wanted to donate to them. So we want to change the copy for it. And that's what you want to do, is reach out to your clients and let them know, look, by working with us, this is what you have, what works to your benefit. All right, does anybody have any questions so far? I put this slide in this morning. Before we get on, does anyone have questions? You want to unmute or put them in the chat on the demographics or psychographics? We'll pause for a moment. 1, 2.
You're all good? Cool.
Cool. Watch the chat. If somebody is a slow typist, we will come back.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, let's get into the myths. You don't need a separate marketing plan for the fourth quarter. Why not? Look, this is the period of time where most spending is done. And this isn't even in retail. This is, it goes across the board. So who are you going to target? Is there a special audience? What are you going to tell them? Why do they want to do business with you now? When are you going to message them? Well, the answer to that is now.
Yeah.
And look at what you've done in the past. What worked well, what didn't, what needs improving. Marketing is all about testing and repeating what you do that worked and not repeating what you do that didn't work. You're going to decide on the call to action. You want to stand out. Is it a 2-for-1? Is it a buy one, get one? Is it half off? I know 3 ways of saying the same thing. You'd be surprised at which one of those works the best. Are you using videos? Have you shot those videos? If you haven't shot those videos, you're going to want to stay tuned to myth number 6. We want to talk about and use the feeling of goodwill toward men and women in your marketing. And you shouldn't bother your list during the fourth quarters. They're getting so many emails and mails and everything else. People kind of expect it. And if you're the only one that doesn't show up, frankly, they kind of wonder where you are. It's a great time to snag signups. You've been collecting them all year. We know that we have been collecting emails all year from new folks, mailing addresses from all year. They get our special offers, and this is the best time to do it. You should have a form on your website all the time and have some sort of offer. Signing up for your newsletter isn't what's going to do it because nobody does that anymore. But you want to have places on your website where people can opt in and get information from you.
Or book time.
Yep. And not everybody gets the same message. We are sending out our holiday cards this year, and on the back we put a message. We have different messages for different markets, and our clients are getting a very different holiday card than people that aren't clients. We call it our prospects list. So the more you can remember, the demographics and psychographics and put them to work for you, it's important. And even those customers that aren't even customers. Gosh, I think I can get this right. Remember, you have top customers and you have people that have tried you once. You have people that have, if you're a nonprofit, there's some nonprofits here, that have donated several times. And there are some people that have donated once. They've tried it out. Is where they are located make a difference? And we want to test what we're doing. Give you an idea. You see the words A/B testing there. If I had a list of 1,000 people that all were demographically similar, I would send 100 one message. I would send another 100 my second choice. Whichever one of those generated the best revenue or whatever my goal was for that message, that's who would, the other 800 would get that list. So you want to make sure that you are segmenting and testing. It's all over before the big day. There are a few phrases that you see on your screen. Ending soon. Today only. A few left. Act fast. Last minute shoppers. You want to light that fire under those stragglers. And what's interesting to us, after Christmas sales happen every year, every time.
Yep.
I think I want to go ahead. Now, you're going to see a statistic in a couple of slides. Half the people in Google looked at, it's like 53% don't make up their mind or don't do any of their shopping until the last week or so before. So you want to be seen a lot in the December time period. Yes, it's more work to send out more emails. It's more work to send out more direct mail. It's more work to do networking. It is more work.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's that Chamber of Commerce says, we're having our holiday party. Oh, I'm just going to take December off. I can't tell you how many times I've attended something in December, and for the promo part of our business, we got orders from people. Oh God, I need to spend this much money on my budget. This is a great time if you work with those companies that have budgets. We're talking city, we're talking state, we're talking corporate. A lot of them have to use it or lose it. It's a great time to be reaching out to make sure that you are capturing your part of the sales. If you have a website, and by the way, if you don't, you really need to talk to us later on. We do an entire webinar on websites, how they work better. In fact, I think we are doing it in December.
I think so.
So if you go to yourmarketingadvisors.com, you'll see the schedule for that. And if you're not sure how to set up your website, you can use that URL at the bottom for how to get there faster. We can talk about getting that site set up for you and connect you with some people that can build it. But this is also a good time in the middle of all of the extra stuff you're doing. What we seem to be saying is that you can't take December off.
You can't take December off. You will lose all momentum and you'll miss out on dollars that should be yours.
You can wait, if you have a website, you can wait until after the holidays to update it. Sure, why not get it done now?
Yes.
In fact, we've seen a lot of companies, and we've done this for a couple of clients, where we've changed their homepage for the holidays. Now, we haven't changed it. We've built a temporary holiday page and just redirected the URL there so that in January, February, all we have to do is go back to the other one, and it saves you. You don't have to work and then unwork. You're just creating that holiday landing page. Your website has got to be responsive. You want to talk about that for a sec?
It needs to be both responsive and adaptive. So responsive is when I pull up your website on my smartphone and I want your phone number and I click on your phone number on my smartphone, the dialer comes up, right? It's responding to my action given the device I'm using. Responsive. Adaptive is it's adapting to the screen size, right? My smartphone is smaller than my desktop or my laptop or my tablet. So is it adjusting, or do I have to scroll left and scroll right in order to see the whole page? Please don't make us do that. People won't do that.
Yeah. We just looked at Ina's website. I know we're calling her out in public. Sorry. When I had her website full screen on the left.
On a desktop?
Yeah. Her head was cut off on that page, on that picture. But when I moved her website, when I clicked that little box and it didn't take up my full screen, there's the whole photo. So you have to make sure that your website is always showing up all the way. Similarly, on a phone, her website showed up even more differently, and it wasn't helping her at all. Now she's making those changes now. Lovely human being. Yeah. Get to know Ina. If you're in the LA area and you want a great storyteller, find her. Black Friday, only for big box retail stores. Oh my gosh.
You might have noticed that's not actually the case in your own email boxes.
Yeah. This year, we decided not to do a Black Friday. We have something else that's coming up. You'll see. Those of you on our email list will see this soon. And it was because we were really busy. We had a lot of things that were going on and doing. And we noticed a lot of coaches were running Black Friday specials, and I started having that FOMO. Oh my God, did we miss out? But we have something that's coming up for you. It's going to be really cool. But that to say, it doesn't have to be a retail store. And if you come back and watch this webinar a year from now, we're going to be looking at a lot of numbers of Black Friday. I want to do the research and see, because Black Friday gets spread out a lot, we want to see if it's really a Black weekend, as it were. But people are used to shopping. We were out and about. Sharon's mom was here the day after Thanksgiving. Well, that's one of the reasons we didn't do the Black Friday sale. So we took a family day, and we went to movies, and we were in a mall, and it was packed. And the object or the idea of scarcity and only a few hours left works really well. Make sure that you don't extend too much because people get used to it, and at some point you do have to cut off your sale. I would suggest using a special video that talks about whatever sale you are running. And if you're a nonprofit, that sale, that video, maybe that you have somebody that is matching donation. So from that point of view, selling is important. Come on. There we go. There's that stat. Take a note. I want to move this slide up earlier. Half of Shop the Shopping Week before Christmas. I mean, that's the busiest time. And since we're doing this webinar in November, barely, you should know you've got a lot of possibilities in front of you. You know, if you're selling a service, Julie, part of this is give yourself your own Christmas gift, the gift of new photographs. Give yourself the gift of. It is possible for business people to remember to buy yourself something. Pamper yourself. So if you have a service that is for business owners, that might be the message that you want to use. That's weird. All right. I just love our internet. The gift that Sharon and I want to give to ourselves is a new internet provider, and they're coming to our town.
Not before the end of the year.
No. So people say video is hard, it takes too long, it's too expensive. Really? You can shoot a video right now, pull out your phone, and it costs you nothing.
A few minutes of time.
Yep. A lot of stats here. What it really comes down to.
Do video.
Yeah. As we are aging out, as boomers are aging out, starting to retire, replaced by millennials who are going to be the primary. In 2 years, millennials will be the #1 demographic in the marketplace. Millennials were brought up with cell phones in their hand with video. And when you go behind them, Gen Y, Gen Z, you've got an audience that is used to using videos and seeing videos and before they make a purchase. What's wonderful is that despite all of these numbers that point to you have to do video, a lot of businesses just don't do it that often. Now, you might notice you're watching this webinar, it's in video format. Oh my gosh. Before COVID, Sharon and I were told you have to have an evergreen video on your website that is always selling.
Webinar.
Webinar. And you have to practice the script and
sure.
There were a lot of you have to's that went to it. That has changed. We don't have to be that tight. We don't have to know the script. You don't have to practice the script that much. Now, granted, with some of our webinars and some of you, I see some of you who are on today, you've seen several of our webinars. There are some things that we use in all of our webinars that we kind of know the script. We each have our part. And this works to your advantage to practice what you're doing and getting it on video. By the way, if you want to have your family stories on video, scroll back up, find Julie, LA
right there.
LA's best. Yeah. Would you read her URL?
Best LA photographer.
BestLAphotographer.com. She does have a video service where she will video and interview your family, so you can capture all of their stories.
Now.
Before. Like before my parents disappeared. So during the holidays, it's also much easier to get testimonials. I'm going to play this one. This is a testimonial video, yes, for us. We were at a holiday party, as you can tell by Lynn's sweater. We were at a chamber mixer. It was loud. It was a lot. There was a lot going on. But Lynn sat down and she started saying something really nice. And I said, wait a minute, wait. Let me get my phone out. And she said, okay. and I walked her through saying some really cool stuff. So this is your reminder that you can always.
Okay, now say it.
You are the
Wait,
best.
who are you talking to?
Read my bag.
You mean Hank and Sharon, right?
Hank and Sharon Yuloff
Yes, ma'am.
are the very best internet marketing people in Sedona and Los Angeles.
Well, thank you.
I'm skeptical because I did internet marketing since 1994.
Yeah.
And there are so many sleaze bags out there, and I put you through every single test, and
Yeah.
you flew over them.
Well, thank you.
Best.
So,
I love you guys.
so why don't you say your name and how somebody can get in touch with you so you can get some business?
I'm Lynn Innes, and if you're a large corporation or a not-for-profit, I'm the Community Outreach Director for Snap Fitness.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. What's the other lesson there? Never let a good
A glass of wine.
never
waste.
never let a glass of wine go to waste. So you
That's all right.
Okay, now say it.
don't say it again. Thank you. Hey, back. There we go. All right, you just got through a lot of holiday myths to increase your sales. That unicorn that is there is to remind you that just like a unicorn doesn't exist, your marketing plan is never ever finished. There are always corrections to be made. There are always new things to be added onto your list. So in this case, what's next? Got a question? How many people have took notes? Let me see some hands. Did you take notes?
Okay, good.
I know Marcia did. Marcia is a voracious note taker. So that means you had if you had a breakthrough today, if you learned something new that you can put a yes in the chat.
Put your biggest aha in the chat.
That works too. I'm looking. Oh, I love seeing familiar faces in there. Wow, this is Zoom is working slow today. Come on. Okay.
Julie's biggest aha is don't take off December.
No kidding.
Yes, ma'am.
Good Lord. I will share, Julie, when promos were the number one thing, before Sharon and I joined forces, because we knew this was going to become a coaching business. I never knew what December was going to be like. In the promo world, I had some Decembers where I couldn't catch my breath, and I had other Decembers where I had all month to catch a train and catch a cold and catch, and I've never figured out what the factor was in that world. Some years were just different. So always putting the full effort out was important, because even in those years where the sales weren't as heavy in December, January always started out well because there was momentum. And momentum is incredibly important in your business.
Definitely.
Now, we're not saying don't take days off. There are some days of the year that you can't find Sharon and I, because there are days that are calendared in. Our anniversary is one of them, July 21st. By the way, if you want to be on our webinar, it's 7 minutes, 21 seconds.
Podcast.
Our podcast. I use that wrong word. So
I just don't want them confused.
Yeah, like me. So your next steps are to create your marketing budget. In a lot of our webinars, that doesn't come down to money. Quite often, it's time.
Yes.
In this case, you do have to budget some cash. Marketing is not free. You have postage, you have time. You may be paying someone to do photos or printing or something.
Yep.
You've got to have it budgeted out. This is a great time to start budgeting for next year. Don't forget your budget for coaching. But you do have to create create a budget for marketing time and marketing dollars. Part of your marketing time is going to be, you're going to blog, You're going to use video. You may be doing webinars. Whatever the marketing tactics are, they do take time. Going to a networking event is not an expensive thing, but it does take time. And then for us, when we go to an event, now it's times 2 because both of us are going. So you've got to create that budget. And the second step,
which might show up on the screen eventually.
Good golly.
Yeah, it's slow. I don't know.
I've never had it go this slow. You've got to get really proficient at those tools. So create time to do that. You've got to be on your social media every day.
Yes,
not
every day.
Not just in the holidays. This is an everyday thing. And those platforms, and we're not saying you have to be on every platform every day, just the ones that your prospects are tuned into. We are on Facebook every day. We are on LinkedIn. We are on Alignable every day. For us, Instagram is kind of our AAA farm team. So I test things there. And I want to see what the reaction is before I bring it up to the Major League Club and put it on our Facebook page. You should have a list of marketing goals. This may end up being that you're starting for next year, but have a list of 12 things because there's 12 months in a year. What that means for you is you're not going to do them all at once because that will put you into a sense of overwhelm. You will overthink things way too much. We have an entire book about being overwhelmed and overthinking. We don't want you to do that. So of that list of 12 things that you want to do, what are the top 3? Those are the 3 that you're going to do first. They go to the top of the list. And of those 3, which is the number 1? We have, we had a book come out last month, Marketing Checklist 4. This was at number 1 on our list. It is now at number 8 because there are podcasts that we want to be on where they talk about overwhelm and overthinking and all of those touchy-feely things in business. And we now have a book that talks about it, so we have a reason to go on those shows. It's not our number 1 priority, but it's number 8. We have another book that we want to come out next year. It's back at number 10. Where to God that book's going to get done. Unfortunately, that part, it has to sit at number 10 because we have a co-author. So have the list of things that you want to get done, and make sure you're budgeting the time and everything to do it. Now, so you know what to do, but there is a problem here. Quite a few of you took notes, but do nothing. And honestly, that's the most popular road. It happens most often. Some of you took notes and you're going to try and do some of it yourself. That's great. It's so much better. Please do it yourself. If you have the time to do it, awesome. Right. And then for those of you who want to get there faster, you're going to ask for some help. And we want to give you some help. And we're not charging you to go to howtogettherefaster.com. You get a half hour with us. It is free. We can cover anything that you had today, anything that has to do with your business. We have set up social media pages in that half hour. We've talked about budgeting. We've talked about tons of different things. We've done website reviews. This is the purpose of it. So that is free. Would love to have you on that. And lastly, December 9, we're doing our last boot camp. This is going to be our last free boot camp. We're one of our marketing things for next year is we're charging for our boot camps. Ooh, slip that in. Wow. I said it in public. That means it happened. Amazing. So if you've never been to our boot camp and want to, this is your last shot, December 9. Interesting. It's an interesting boot camp because it's by request. If you have been to one of our boot camps before, we set the agenda. I am creating an entirely different one based on an email that is going out to people that are attending. What do you want covered? And
their response.
That's what we're covering. I am pulling stuff out that we haven't had in a boot camp frankly, in 3 or 4 years. So I'm pulling the slides out from past boot camp. relearning the information to share. It's going to be quite a bit of fun. So there you go. If you want the right ways to authentically present your ideas, if you want to know how small adjustments will make big results, come to the boot camp. If you want your products and services to sell like crazy, if you want to save an enormous amount of time, money, energy, because wasting money on advertising sucks. And even though this wasn't on the request, this always goes into every boot camp. The number one mistake everyone makes when designing their marketing plans. We will.
They don't know that.
I know. What's the number one thing that people don't know? Don't bother with. By the way, here we're about to take your questions. Don't ask. I'm not going to share it. I'm just not. So yeah.
It's only in a week.
Exactly. We'll tell you in a week, on the night.
That's right.
So, all right. It is question time. What questions y'all have? You can put them in the chat. You can unmute, scream, holler, shake, shout.
It's actually easier if you unmute or type it in the chat than just scream muted, because then we won't hear.
Yeah.
And that would be sad. We have no questions, or are we just typing?
I think Roger forgot to unmute.
That'd be sad. I can tell you while they're typing, I can tell you that some of the other answers, I told you Julie's answer, don't take December off.
Yes.
Dr. Marsh's aha was that Black Friday can be a nonprofit event. And Roger's aha was reminders for adding to the website.
Yes.
Those are your aha.
Any other questions? Questions going
I
once,
don't
questions
see any
going twice.
questions. Wow.
So, all right, everyone. The last slide you see is all of the URLs where you can track us down. If you want, how to get there fast, you get 30 minutes. Plan Your Marketing is always our bootcamp link. Next year, that Plan Your Marketing is going to go to a very different page. Your Marketing Advisor is where we do have our list of all of our webinars and seminars and such. We are not taking December off. Nope. We have a bunch of webinars, including a couple we haven't done in a while. So come join us there. And then again, the Viewcast is where our podcast lives. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. It's been great. It's been fun. Remember, if everything happens for a reason.
See, the reason things happen.
See you next time.
Okay, so long, folks.
Yes, thank you, and so long.